and I'm really pleased that you've logged in, so that we've got quite a big group this morning. So today, we're going to have a bit of a heart opening practice. That's going to be kind of a focus. And I'm thinking about the fact that it's Diwali tomorrow. That's not part of the tradition that I've grown up in, but it's something I've learned a lot about recently. And my father, having been from India, although not from that tradition, I'm always very interested in these things. So tomorrow it's, well, Diwali is actually a multi-day festival. It's 4 or 5 days, I think, in total in the Hindu tradition. And some yogic traditions kind of do get tied up and kind of intertwine with the religious observations and traditions of the countries where yoga sprang up. So there's a lot of connections and some nice themes that we can connect in with. Diwali is the festival of lights. So this time of year when it's darker, it's about light in the darkness. It's about, there are lots of stories connected with it, and it connects the ideas of the triumph of good over evil, and there's lots of celebrations involving candles and lights and colours, and it's a happy celebratory time. Connected with that, the goddess Lakshmi is very celebrated. So she, I'm going to show you her actually. I've got her, a picture of her here. Lakshmi is, I've just got a little candle here. This is Lakshmi, and you might have seen pictures, you see pictures of all these different Indian gods and goddesses, and it's a bit of reflection here, but you can see she's sitting on a lotus flower, this beautiful pink lotus flower, and she's holding 2 lotus flowers there as well. And there's quite a bit of reflection here, but you might be able to just see that there are coins coming down, golden coins coming down from there. This is another picture that you get in little altars, and that's a bit easier to see. You can see the lotus at the bottom, and then she's sort of sitting in a bigger lotus. You can see the petals there. And again, this time she's holding a lotus in this hand, but in this hand there's a sort of golden pot here. So she is all about abundance, and she's about wealth. So people will give offerings of coins, and she's about prosperity. So people will honor her, hoping to bring prosperity into their lives, into their families. But it's not just about material wealth. That's the obvious thing on the surface. It's the idea of wealth being our spiritual wealth as well, our happiness. That is a kind of wealth as well. She's also good luck. She's a luck and a lucky charm in a way, and grace and beauty. Think about the lotus, how we know with our Lotus Mudra that we do, that is symbolizing purity and beauty coming up through muddy waters, and then something beautiful and perfect forms there. So there's a huge amount to read about her, and all these stories, which I just love. And I have to really rein it in, as I've said to you before. When I start bringing in these themes, I have to really be careful to rein it in, remembering this is a yoga class. It's not a lecture. I am an art historian at heart, and I do have a tendency to want to go on into detail. So another time I will do that, but not in the context of a yoga class. So I just wanted to introduce her to you. If we were in the studio, you would be able to see already, I've got this beautiful pink lotus candle holder that someone gave me years ago, and I thought appropriate, because the pink lotus for Lakshmi, I've got a candle burning here. So that idea of the light, very appropriate to have these little candles lit. There's some background. Now, Lakshmi, the story about her is that the reason that in those pictures I just showed you, she's coming up on that lotus flower, is coming up out of the ocean. And there's a huge epic story, which I won't even try to summarize, but the culmination of it is that she appears, she takes form from this turmoil and this awful situation where everything in the world has been dying. And it's because her essence, everything she represents has been sent away, and they churn, the gods have to churn the ocean, this huge task of churning the ocean. And then when they do that, eventually this lotus starts to rise up, and in there is Lakshmi, and she represents the life that is going to come back to the planet. So it's this kind of huge dramatic moment when Lakshmi appears. So she's in Indian tradition. When I talk about my Bollywood, any of you who've done my Bollywood workshop or have seen that, I've talked about the fact that Ganesh, the elephant god, is again an ancient tradition of story that he comes from, but he's still used in Bollywood filming now. Still, at the beginning of a filming project, they'll have Ganesh and they'll light a candle to Ganesh and make an offering to Ganesh, because he's the remover of obstacles. So they'll invest in that. In a modern context now, they will still have these representations and use them. Same thing with Lakshmi, that she will be in people's homes. There will be a picture of Lakshmi, there'll be candles lit, all of this. So I love the idea that these ancient stories, ancient traditions can be brought into modern life. And it's not that it's a religious thing. It's just thinking of her representing qualities, not necessarily, whether or not you believe in any kind of gods. It's just that she's a representation of particular qualities. And those qualities we have in us. So in a sense, we are Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is us. So I love that idea. I'm going to stop now and do some yoga. Okay. You can see I'm really having to rein it in. So let's, just sitting actually for a moment, let's have a mudra, a new one that we haven't done before, that is Lakshmi's. This one, we bring our little finger, ring finger, and middle finger, and we curl them into the fingertips, come into the palm of the hand. So we're left with the index and the thumb. So if you point your thumb straight up, and you're kind of pressing these fingertips into the palm, point your index finger straight up and kind of stretch out your thumb a bit as well. And then just bring the thumb, we're stretching those out so that we can really feel a bit of energy, a bit of stretch there. Then we'll just start to bend the thumb at the joint to bring the thumb in towards that middle finger. Same thing on both sides. Not right in, but towards the middle finger. Then we'll just bend the index to bring the fingertips together. So the index finger pad and the thumb pad, just the top part of the pad, just pressing together. So we've already, in stretching those out, we can feel a bit of energy there, and then we're kind of bringing it into we're here. And then, so there we are. It's a kind of odd one. This idea that you've got here that you're holding now, press them together, press those thumb and index tips together. And the idea that this represents is we're holding the seed. We've got seeds here. It's a huge responsibility. The seeds here of all of that power that Lakshmi has, that had all the stuff that had gone when the world was in turmoil and everything was dying, and what it needed was her spirit to come back. This, we're holding here all of that. It's a really powerful mudra. We're holding on to this, but also there's that feeling of the potential that we're holding on to here. Just relax your shoulders and still really pressing the thumb and index fingertips together. Relax your shoulders, just check on your neck, perhaps just turn the face side to side so you're releasing any tension in the neck. Have your arms comfortable, still holding on, fingertips, thumb and index fingertips. And now just starting to breathe deeply. So take a really deep breath in and a long exhale. See if you can make the exhale a bit longer than that inhale. Relaxing your jaw, relaxing your shoulders a little bit more perhaps. And again, just take two or three more rounds of breath and see if you can sort of connect the feeling of the breath flowing in and out with this this feeling of this sort of this seed that you're holding onto, the potential that you're holding onto here with that finger and thumb. Send the breath down there to your hands. Long exhale, emptying all the way back out. Keep relaxing the shoulders, maybe turning the face side to side a little bit if there's still any tension that you're noticing there, and then bringing the head back to a central position, neck long. Okay. So after holding that potential there, that pressure there between the fingertip and thumb, just relax your hands now. Feel the contrast as you relax the hands. Even maybe think of it as those lotus flowers opening out. In fact, let's do that. Let's, palms facing up, just curl your little fingers in towards you. And those are those two lotus hands there. Let's just take that forwards like you're offering a gift, taking your hands forwards, and then again, just bringing the hands slightly apart and curling the little fingers in, and the other fingers follow to make that lotus shape coming in towards your chest. Beautiful. So this is Bollywood. Actually, these are Bollywood hands, the lotus hands, going out, offering or receiving, and then coming in, bringing little fingers towards your chest and making that little flower shape. Good. And let's relax that completely now. Give your fingers a wiggle, coming down onto the back of your body. And we're just going to take a long stretch now. A really long stretch. Get yourself comfortable. Be as comfortable as you possibly can be. We're not going to be here very long, but just find a bit of comfort in stretching out and enjoying the chance just to maybe wriggle your hips and wiggle your fingers, point your toes, take up as much space as you can. Let your breath relax, let your shoulders and your chest relax. Maybe circling ankles, wrists. And then inhale, stretch, make a really long stretch, reaching with your fingertips. Exhale, float your arms back down alongside you. We'll just do that a couple more times. Inhale, reaching up and back with your arms, with your fingertips, spreading your fingers, opening up the palms of the hands. Exhale, releasing the arms all the way back down again. Just doing that a few more times, just at your own pace. Bring your feet onto your mat, and just whenever you're ready, just maybe just sway the knees side to side. And if you like, let's add in, as we take the arms up, take the right foot up, push that heel up towards the sky, exhale, bending the knee, gently bringing the foot down as the arms come down, and then the left leg, same thing. Just incorporating a little pause at the top of the breath. Inhale, stretch out, push your heel away, let your arms drop back, a little pause, and then exhale. And then the same the other side. And releasing. And then let's just hug our knees in towards our chest and just squeeze the knees in, hold them in really tight, and then just loosening the grip and just circling the knees around, going one way, going the other way, side to side. Bring your chin towards your chest. And then bring the knees back to the center. Take a deep breath in, exhale, hug your knees in while you lift your head. And just gently come back, and then we'll repeat that again. So inhale, take time to really let the ribs expand with this one. And then exhale, draw your knees in as close as you can, lift your head as high as you can. Feel the length at the back of the body. And then just release. Carefully, just bring your feet down onto the floor. Have your arms alongside you again. Let's just, we often do this to start with. Let's just have the feet hip distance apart. Bring the heels quite close to you. Palms facing down to start with. Inhale, lift your hips and take your arms up and back as well. And really think about the focus of opening and lifting your chest. Exhale, carefully placing each section of the spine back down again. Doing that 3 more times. Inhale, lifting the hips, keeping your knees parallel. Try and keep your hips level and just really think of that chest space. Exhale, releasing. Just float the arms back down as you empty out the breath. Ready to lift again. Doesn't worry, doesn't matter if you're not coming that high. It might just be that you're coming a little way up with the hips, but really focus on that opening of the chest. And then exhale, releasing. Gently coming down. Let's just sway the knees side to side again. And then we'll make our way over, maybe onto our side first, and then coming up to sitting. Okay. So just coming to a nice comfortable sitting position, whichever position is best for your legs, and moving our shoulders forwards and up and back and down. Taking your time, be patient with yourself. So if your shoulders feel tight, just take it really slowly and be patient. Don't think, oh, I need to get this going to keep up with everybody else or whatever, but just be observant, be patient, and break it down into smaller movements if you need to. Let's move the shoulders the other way. So we take the shoulders back and then bring them up, and then exhale forwards and down. Just varying that a little bit. Emptying out any clutter, any busyness from the week, any worries, any tension, any tiredness, just emptying it all out. Let's come back to just bringing the shoulders forwards and up. As you roll the shoulders back and down, emptying out from wherever it is that you've been holding any tension. You probably know, those of us, when we're practicing yoga regularly like this, we get tuned into where it is that we have a tendency to hold that tension. It might be that we notice stiffness. It might be that we know when we're in a stressful situation that we notice it at that point in that stressful situation. We can feel it going in or tightening up. So focus on that as you exhale, wherever that is for you, finding a bit of freedom, liberation. And when we make that space, then there's extra capacity to take on that positive energy that we're looking to tune in with today. Breathing out the darkness to let in more light. Let's take our arms out to the sides, breathing in, reach up, palms together. Exhale, lower the thumbs towards your chest. Let's do that again. Inhale out and up. Just keep the palms together for a moment, just a little bit of side to side. And maybe we even slide the hands down. So you slide the hand down to the wrist on one side, and then you slide the other hand down to the wrist on the other side to go with that side to side movement. Nice, very good. And then back to the center, palms together, exhale. When you next exhale, bring those hands down to your heart center again. Okay, let's just bring our hands onto our legs and we'll take a bit of a sitting cow-cat stretch. So inhale, bring your chest forwards and up, lift your chin, roll the shoulders back, exhale, chin to chest, pull the tummy in, tilt your pelvis forwards. And again, inhale forwards and up, exhale, rounding, a little bit of rounding. Okay. Let's just take our arms into this cactus shape, this sort of goddess cactus shape. Spread your fingers, palms are facing forwards, and let's just roll the shoulders back and take the arms back, opening, lifting the chest. And then just relax it, come back to sort of more neutral. And again, inhale, exhale, take your arms back, move your chest forwards if you can, and just lift your chin slightly, just really focusing again on your heart, on that heart space, the Anahata chakra, the energy center around the area of the heart. all about compassion, but also about liberty. It's about freeing ourselves up so that we can really be connected with our true self. Clarity there. So just bring it back. Maybe let's bring the palms together, bring the elbows together in front. Deep breath inside, back out. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. And then again, we're going to open up. Inhale, lengthen, crown of the head lifting up to the sky. Exhale, open. Sigh out your breath. Let's do that again. Just bring the palms together in front of you, bring the elbows together, relax the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, nice long spine. Exhale, open, roll the shoulders back, take the arms sort of level with you, and then you take them back slightly if you can, just to broaden across the front of the chest. Lift your chin, lift your chest, and bring it back again. Let's do that one more time. Just take it with your breath. Take a moment to inhale and lengthen first, and then exhale as you open. Maybe even a slight arch of the spine if your back is comfortable with that. Just think of when we're arching in our cow-cat. Spread your fingers, lift your heart, and just let's bring it back again. Good. Bring your hands onto your legs and let's roll the torso. Just going side to side, keeping your hips grounded and just moving your chest forwards and round to the side. And maybe we can connect this with part of that story that I told you. Think of the idea, I love just picturing the story, these epic stories. The idea of all these gods is gods and demons, not just gods. It was from both sort of parts of the universe, that they were churning the ocean. This, huge task that they had to get things to change, to get fortunes to change. Moving forwards and taking yourself round to the side. Think of that, the epic story that we're thinking about here. Maybe challenge yourself. See if you can maybe come a little bit further forwards with your chest so you feel a bit more release in your back. Maybe you just investigate coming slightly further to the side, so a bit more stretch at the side of the waist. Keep your shoulders broad. Just noticing where you might find a little bit more space to stretch ever so slightly more, which is going to strengthen you. It's going to help strengthen. Just, keep your shoulders comfortable, keep your neck comfortable, and maybe you kind of sort of bend your elbows and then straighten your arms at different times just to fit with that movement. And moving side to side. And then let's come back to the center, and let's do this this one. So this is a bit of a side stretch, a bit sort of revolved head to knee. So if we stretch out our left leg and we'll bend our right knee, use a cushion or a folded blanket, whatever you need to sit onto to give yourself a bit better support or comfort if you need to. So it's this one, it's where we're taking that left leg, rather than Janu Shirshasana where we come forwards and the leg is straight in front of us, we're taking that left leg a little bit out to the left. So it's a bit at an angle, doesn't have to be that far, but rather than straight out in front of you, it's going out at a bit of an angle, left leg out to the left. It doesn't have to be completely straight. It could be that you've got your knee slightly bent, that's fine, but try and push your heel away, and then you're bending your right knee and you're bringing the heel in towards you at the center, and you're just letting the right knee drop down as much as you can. Bring your right hand behind you and just bring it onto your lower back. So probably the back of your hand is just on your lower back there at the side. And then we reach up with the left hand, reaching up to the sky, push that heel away, feel that stretch up the side of the body and that stretch of the leg. Deep breath in, reach up, exhale, you're going to come over into a side stretch. So we're bringing the hand somewhere on that left leg, anywhere. It could be you're just coming a little way and you're just going to bring the hand somewhere either side of the knee. It might be you can slide it down further. Maybe you can reach to the foot, but it doesn't matter if you don't. Try and keep rolling that right shoulder back. That top shoulder is rolling back. So again, we're thinking about openness in the chest, opening up that chest, opening up that heart space. So rather than folding forwards like we do in the head to knee pose that we do more commonly, it's a forwards fold. This isn't a forwards fold, it's a side stretch, and there's an idea of a twist, so that we're kind of opening our heart, but we're also thinking of sending energy from our heart upwards, and upwards sort of emphasis here. Notice your breath again. Deep breath in. Feel the rhythm, the vibration of that breath in your ribs, around that heart space, the stretch at the side of the waist. If you've come to somewhere that feels it's a bit too much and it feels a bit tense or stressed anywhere, or any strain, just bring that hand a bit closer to you so you're not going in quite so deep. Okay, so always think about that possibility that you've come to slide that hand quite far down the leg, but it feels that there's strain. Then you bring the hand back a little bit, just come a bit closer so you're not going as far. Maybe you keep your right hand on the back, or you bring it to the hip. Maybe you can take that right hand up to the sky, just to add a curve coming over the top, then the upper arm coming towards your ear. You can experiment with that. Maybe you come to there and then you decide to take it back again, but let's just play with that a bit. If you, by all means, you can just keep the hand where it was and just focus on that breath. But if you are lifting the arm up, just experiment with the shape you can make. Maybe you can make an arc at the top there. Maybe you then reach up to the sky. All the time we're keeping that chest open. Maybe you visualize, maybe like sparklers. Maybe you visualize a night sky and these fingertips are making sparkles up there. Fireworks, sparkles, flames. Let's come back. On an inhale, listen to your breath, wait for the next wave, and let the inhale, the in-breath, help you to come back. Coming all the way back. Okay. And we'll swap around. So first of all, let's just stretch both our legs out in front of us and just give the legs a little shake, a little bit of moving the legs, moving the knees up and down, wiggling the toes. And then we'll take our right leg out at a bit of an angle, and we'll bend our left knee, bringing that heel towards us at the center and letting the left knee drop down. You might want to put a cushion under that left leg if you like, if you feel you need it, but you might not feel you need it. You might feel it's fine as it is. But sometimes, especially when you're at home, the chances are you've got various different things around you that you can improvise with. I mean, even if I wanted to, I could use my scarf as a prop here, just to put that there if I wanted to. Sitting up nice and tall again, pushing that heel away. And remember, this leg is out at an angle. It's not straight in front. It's a little bit out to the side. And sitting up tall, we'll bring our left hand behind us, just maybe touching the back of the hand onto the back of the hips, the back of the lower back area, reaching up with that right hand up to the sky. On an exhale, we're coming over to our side stretch, so we can sort of feel how the rib cage, the torso is just being invited into the sidewards movement. The hand is anywhere, can be anywhere on that right leg, anywhere at all. And maybe actually I'm just finding I could take that leg a bit more out at an angle, which I'm going to do because it kind of feels right, but just find your way into what feels right. Again, just take a moment just to focus on your breathing, to check that we're keeping that chest space open. So if you find that left shoulder's dropping forwards, see if you can roll it back. See if you can roll that shoulder back so that there's that slight idea of a rotation, already rotating the chest towards the sky rather than towards the floor. And openness there as well, open. So this left hand can either come to your hip, or you could take it up to the sky, opening up that space up the side of the ribs, the side of the waist. Again, maybe you can play with this a little bit by making that curve, that arc, tracing a curve with your fingertips. Still keeping the chest open. Even if you're bringing that arm up and over, just be wary of letting the arm drop forward. As soon as the arm starts to drop forwards, then we're kind of tending to perhaps close the chest a little bit. But if we can take the arm, keep it sort of nearer to where the ear is, then we'll keep that chest space open. And we can come in and out of that. We can release it. We can bring the hand back down to the hip or the lower back. We can repeat by coming up and then tracing it over, visualizing light in the darkness, maybe sparklers or some other kind of fireworks that are just tracing that arc across the sky. Colors, different colors. On an inhale, a nice deep breath in, let that help you to come back to the center. Okay, good. Let's bring those legs out in front of us and again, just give them a little bit of movement. Moving the legs, wiggling the toes, maybe circling the ankles as well. And then we're going to just come to our cat and cow for a moment, just coming to hands and knees and wrists under the shoulders and knees under the hips. And inhale, arching, exhale, rounding. So we know this, we do it most weeks, it's familiar, but really make the most of this as we tilt into arching, of moving the chest forwards and up, lifting your chin, exhale, rounding, pushing the floor away and connecting with your strength. Okay, so just enjoying this benefit, the huge benefit that there is to be had here for our spine. Keep your shoulders broad. Okay. And then we're going to, from here, just coming back to neutral and just check that those wrists are under your shoulders. So we're just going to, if we press into our right hand and we'll take our left leg, stretch out that left leg, we're going to just bend the left knee and bring this is just trying this in stages, bringing the left foot behind you. Okay, so we're coming kind of onto our toes, the left foot behind you. You're coming to you were facing forwards, you're coming to face the left now, pressing into that hand and bringing your left hand to your hip. So you're kind of in this position. Okay, so again, the same idea we were thinking about of rotating the chest. The chest was facing down there, now it's come to the side. Can we rotate it round again to bring the chest towards the sky a little bit? And then maybe we can also just take that arm back, take that arm up and let it drop back, which will help to roll the shoulder back and further open that chest space. So this is a modified version of a wonderfully named posture that's called Wild Thing. And it's a heart opener. So the other version that this is modified from, we'd come into from downward facing dog, but I just thought we'd have this modified version where we have the knee on the mat. Lifting and opening that chest, and then just bringing that arm back, bringing that hand back onto the mat and just taking your hips side to side. So I'm just going to show you, just take your hips side to side. If you want to just look at the screen, I'm just going to show you, in case anyone wants to try it, that if you were going to take that into the less modified version, I'm just going to do the same thing again, coming to face the side, but this time I'm stretching my leg out. I'm actually going to then bend it and bring the foot onto the floor, stretching the right leg out, coming onto the outside edge of that foot. Then I can lift a bit higher. So this would be Wild Thing or thereabouts. And then the modified version we just did, we had the knee down there. So it actually feels very similar. It's just you're lifting a bit higher. Okay. Let's come back to hands and knees and just again take the hips side to side. We're going to just inhale and exhale, arching and rounding. And then, as I'm sure you've guessed, we're going to do the same on the other side. So let's just do the same. So we'll take that right leg this time, and we're going to bend the knee, and pressing into the left hand, we're lifting the right hand. We're bringing that right foot behind, sort of behind us as we turn. So the torso was facing the mat, now it's facing the side. Then if we take that arm up and let the arm drop back, that's going to help us to keep that chest open, and that feeling of just rotating around. So the chest was facing the side, maybe we can move into a slightly different emphasis of rotating around, so the chest is coming a little bit towards the sky, maybe not completely, but a different emphasis. Opening your heart. Again, I'm just going to show you the other version, which is to, just going to touch that foot down behind me again like we just did, but this time instead stretching out my left leg. So I'm lifting the knee and coming onto the edge of the foot. And again, there's that lovely feeling of lift. So two different versions of that one. Wild thing. Coming back, take your hips side to side. I saw lots of arms, lots of lovely opening, lots of heart opening there. Coming back, just to counter that, let's take our knees a bit wider than hip distance, bring our hips back towards the heels, drop the chest down to the floor. Think of melting your heart down towards the earth, and either chin to chest, so the top of the forehead comes onto the mat, or bring your hands towards you so that you can cushion your forehead with your hands. Either hands stacked or even fists stacked to bring your forehead onto. Just relax into this for a moment. Really think of that idea, think of the weight of the chest, the weight of the shoulders dropping down. So kind of releasing the weight of the front of the chest down towards the earth. And any tension, any stress in that area of the heart just melting away. Emptying out any tension in the shoulders, melting away as well. Again, another modification. If your hips are not coming back near the heels, there's another opportunity to grab a cushion or a folded blanket and to place that sort of on your heels so that you can then maybe just reach the cushion with your hips. So that's another thing to keep in mind for this kind of balasana variation. Sigh out a breath, big sigh out. Emptying out any tiredness. Acknowledging the energy that you've already created, you've already generated, and feeling it flowing. Then let's just carefully come up to hands and knees again, and we're just going to step forwards into our forwards fold. So stepping one foot first and then the other foot, and coming to whichever is your ideal forwards fold. Maybe you've got your knees bent, maybe you've got your legs straight, maybe you're somewhere in between. You could bring your hands higher up to your thighs or your hips so that it's a flat back forward fold, or you could have your hands anywhere further down on the legs, maybe on a cushion, maybe you hold opposite elbows. And it's always nice just to do this. Especially on a Friday, I think, end of the week, emptying out whatever it is that's been accumulating, that's been taking up our attention and our energy this week, just using your forwards fold as a release to help you to release, swaying the hips side to side. Take a deep breath in and then sigh out through the mouth. Deep breath in through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Okay, so let's just prepare to come up. We're going to engage our core, just using your abdominal muscles, switching them on while you gradually start to come up. As you come up, maybe halfway, bring your palms together. And as you make your way up, let's just take our hands into our Lotus Mudra. So we've got our palms together, but then we keep the little finger and thumbs together, but we separate those three fingers in the middle. So we're making this shape, that lotus. And we're going to just simply take that up to the sky. So just taking that lotus up to the sky. Again, that idea of that lotus flower rising up from the ocean, delivering Lakshmi and all her positivity. Let's bring the fingers together again. Just bring that hands to your heart, just back in front of the chest. And just folding at the hips, just a little bow. Folding at the hips, palms together. Let's just do that again from here. Spread your toes, press your feet down into your mat. And in pressing the feet down, let that help you to start to rise up. And we'll separate those middle three fingers again, making that lotus flower shape. And again, we'll send that up. We'll see that rising up, lifting your heart with your focus on that lotus shape up there. And then just bring the hands, fingers together again. And we'll let the thumbs come in towards the breastbone. Relax your shoulders. Relax your breath. Let's step out wider. Just take your feet a bit wider. Okay, and let's take that a bit of an echo of what we did before, that goddess pose. So if we just bring the palms together this time and just send the fingertips up to the sky, and then on an exhale, if we turn our toes out at a bit of an angle, exhale, bend the knees, bend your elbows, and just palms are facing forwards. And we're making this shape. So it's like, I always think of this like a cactus shape with the arms and the fingers are strong, elbows are bent, palms facing forwards, bending the knees, bending the elbows, spread your toes, maybe just come up in the back into it again, sink into it again, sink into your hips, feel how strong those legs are. And come up again, bring your palms together up at the sky, lifting your heart. Inhale, press into your feet to let you grow a bit taller. And again, exhale, bend your elbows, bend your knees, sitting in, sinking in, strong goddess pose. Once more, let's do that once more. Inhale up. Exhale. Making that strong shape there. Good. And let's just relax that. And then turning your, I'm going to do the opposite of you here, turning your right toes out to the right, lining up your heel with the middle of the instep of the opposite foot. Very familiar because we do it so often. Let's come to warrior two, just bending your knee, checking it's not going beyond the point where it's above the ankle. And think of this, this thigh is parallel to the floor. So we want to try and get as much stretch as we can so that that's parallel to the floor. Arms coming out to the sides. Deep breath in, sigh it back out and relax your shoulders. Shoulder blades sliding down the back of the body, planting the soles of those feet. We're going to reverse our warrior two. So we'll bring our left hand to our left leg. We're still bending the right knee. We're turning the right palm to face up and we're just sweeping up and over. It's just such a graceful posture. Graceful, beautiful shape. Engage your core. Just feel how you can draw strength into your center here. And coming back on an inhale, just releasing it, bringing it back. Good. Let's turn the toes to face forwards. Just roll the shoulders again. Wiggle the fingers. Turning your left toes out to the left. Again, just a quick check, your heel and your instep are lined up. And bending the knee. We want this thigh to be parallel to the floor if we can, but just find what you can, where you can get to, taking it wide enough so we've got that as our aim, and the knee is not going beyond where it's above the ankle. Arms coming out to the sides, looking over to your left hand to start with, and taking up space in both directions, taking up space. Turning that palm to face up now, bringing your right hand to slide it down the right leg while you reverse your warrior two. Reverse warrior, stretch, just appreciating the grace and of that curve that you're making, but also that strength within. Keeping the chest open, breathing in, sighing out, gently bringing the knee back and letting the arm return all the way back down again. Good, turning the toes to face forwards and just edging, heel toeing those feet back towards each other, and let's swing the arms, let the arms swing out, just be careful of any furniture or walls that you're near while you turn those hips side to side. Good. Always nice for the lower back, I think, this one. Feel the weight of your arms releasing. So we're just going to do one more thing. We just slow this down. Another thing, just while we're here, before we come back down, thinking about the shoulders. So we've been thinking about the heart space and keeping that heart space open. Of course, we think about the front here, but the area where the heart is includes space at the back here, the back of the heart space. If we take our arms out to the sides and then bring them towards each other, let's bring the right arm on top first to eagle arms, or even just to here. It could just be to here. If you can come to here or to here, then that's great. But anywhere there. Our focus here is in just giving a bit of a stretch to the back of the shoulders, the upper back. So we've got the right arm on top. So we're going to kind of use the left arm to sort of bring the right arm across a bit more. And we can feel that stretch that gives us. Focus on your upper back. Notice the possibility of stretch there. Let's take it out to the sides again. Take the arms out to the sides. This time the left arm's going to be on top. Again, you could just come to here with your eagle arms, or you could come to here, or you could wrap around if you like. And again, this time we're going the other way. We're just using the right arm to sort of pull the left arm over to give that stretch in the upper back, the back of the shoulders. So it's what we do in our eagle arms, but we do it all at once. But this is just giving a bit more emphasis to one side and then the other side. Okay, let's release that and just relax our arms. Good. Let's come back down to just to sitting for a moment. And I'd like you to, we're just going to tune into that breath again. Come back to your Lakshmi Mudra again. So reminder, little finger, ring finger, and middle finger tips come into the palm. And then we stretch out the index fingers and the thumbs, stretch them out. And then we start to bring the thumb in, and then we just bend the index finger so that the very tips of those two are touching. So we're holding that seed again, that potential we're holding there. Make sure you're in a comfortable sitting position, any position at all for your legs, and just relax your arms. Perhaps just have your arms resting on your legs with the palms facing up, but with those fingers curled in, and we're holding fingers pressing the thumb tips and the index finger tips together. Move your shoulders, little micro move, shoulders forwards, up, back and down. Lift your rib cage. Let your breath flow. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the energy that's flowing through the body. And just a reminder at those fingertips, finger and thumb tips, a reminder of the potential that we hold on to, our own power. Channeling Lakshmi, the energy that is Lakshmi. prosperity, abundance, good fortune, grace and beauty, and also generosity. True wealth is generosity of heart. That's the true wealth that we're looking to tap into, to receive here. Generosity of heart. And the more generous that we are in giving from our heart, then the more that we'll receive. When we want more of something, the best path is to give whatever that is, to give what it is that you want to receive. Just relax your mudra now. Just let the fingers relax and just give the fingers a little bit of gentle movement. And let's just again turn the palms to face down, bring the hands onto your legs, and one more time, just rolling the torso, moving, folding forwards and coming round to the side, maybe not exaggerating it as much as we did before, but just gentle side to side movement. Finding your breath and just flowing with those waves of breath. Maybe a sense of slowing down and grounding again. Make sure your neck is comfortable. Perhaps just a soft gaze just onto the floor, just in front of you, not any further than that, just quite close to you. Having been thinking about quite a sort of expansive themes of connection outwards. Now bringing it back in, coming back in. Preparing to come to your mat or to your comfortable place for relaxing back down. And just before we come into our favorite resting position, I'd like to suggest just trying soles of the feet together, knees dropping out to the sides, and just bringing your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly. So you've got your elbows out at the side and the knees are out to the side, and your neck is long, shoulders are relaxed, and just taking a few breaths here. So with the soles of the feet together, you can try bringing the feet closer or sliding the feet further away from you to just adjust how that feels. If it feels a bit tight in the hips, you might want to slide the feet a bit further away from you, but still having the soles of the feet just lightly touching if possible. I'm not going to make you stay here for very long, but I'd like to just feel this sort of opening up in the hips while we connect with the rhythm of the breath. So this is Supta Baddha Konasana. Baddha Konasana is bound angle pose. Supta means that we're lying down. So if we were sitting with the soles of the feet together, that would be Baddha Konasana. Just have your arms and shoulders comfortable, but with either your hands or your fingertips, a bit of contact, left hand or fingertips with the chest, right hand or fingertips with the belly. As you breathe in, feel just tracing the pattern of that breath coming up from the belly to the ribs to the chest, and emptying out from the chest, from the ribs, from the belly. Relaxing the whole of the back of the body, just relaxing, resting. Observing that rise and fall. Thinking of your heart center and just visualizing the colors pink and gold. maybe letting that come and go a little bit, but thinking of those colours, pink and gold. And then just relaxing and coming into your ideal resting position. So maybe you just simply stretch those legs out, or maybe you want to bring your feet onto the mat. Take your arms out to the sides and palms facing up. Make sure you're warm enough for these last few minutes. If you like, you can keep the hands where they are if that felt good and you want to stay connected in that way. One hand on the heart, one hand at the belly. By all means do keep that. But I'd like you to just feel as comfortable in a position that feels as natural and comfortable and supported as possible, as you possibly can find. So just finding whatever you need in order to facilitate that. With your eyes gently closed and just tuning into those waves of breath, that rising, falling, ebbing, flowing. Again, just coming back to those colours and perhaps more of a focus at your heart centre. Think of expansion as you breathe in. It's like your whole body is just expanding outwards a little bit, including that heart space that gets bigger. The heart space itself gets bigger. There's more capacity there, like the petals of a lotus flower opening out. And there's this beautiful light, that expanded heart space is permeated with pink and gold light. Visualize perhaps that lotus flower opening out very slowly, gradually, just opening out a little bit more, so that maybe you notice there are more petals there than were first apparent. Breathing out any remaining darkness to let in even more light, like stars coming out. Igniting our inner spark and discovering the abundance and the possibility within your heart. Remembering that image of Lakshmi, benevolent, smiling, luminous, and giving. Lakshmi is you, and you are Lakshmi. Relaxing the whole of your body, just emptying out anything else that you need to let go of. relaxing your jaw, relaxing your brow, releasing any tension in your neck or your shoulders, your arms, relaxing your hands and your fingers and thumbs completely. Softness in the palms of the hands. The entire length of your spine, resting, releasing the weight of the shoulders, releasing the weight of the hips, the pelvis, the legs, all of the muscles in the legs, relaxing even more deeply. Relax those legs, relax your knees. The muscles in the calves, the ankles, the feet, the toes, even each individual toe, more relaxed. And drinking in a warming, soothing, nourishing energy, just absorbing that deeply. So that it can nourish you and provide fuel. That will last, that will sustain you. Now let's just take a deep breath in, a deeper breath in, sending the breath right down to your hips, and take your arms up and back and take a stretch. And on an exhale, the next time you breathe out, just floating your arms down gradually back alongside you. And just in your own time, doing that again, that stretch, followed by that release. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. You might want to hug your knees in towards your chest. And beginning to make a bit of movement, rocking side to side, preparing to make your way back to a sitting position when you're ready. Okay, good. So let's just come back to moving those shoulders, bring our palms together, and just like we did when we were standing, inhale, let's make that Lotus Mudra, and we'll take that up to the sky. And then just bring the fingers back together again. So back at our heart center, we're back in Anjali Mudra, and we'll seal everything up there. So thank you everyone for joining me this morning on my little rambling tour of various different places, and I hope you have a good weekend. And I do look forward to the day that we can be in real life together again, so that we can enjoy things like these lovely candles. I'm just showing you my Lotus candle again.